Today is very much about the conversations we need to hear from you, and also about the things you need us to hear.
Having conversations with the diverse stakeholders of PSD allows us to make sense of that hard data. It tells us the human story of our current context and what we want our future to be. The education plan is the culminating, guiding document of that information. It's the document through which we articulate our vision and our mission and our goals and priorities. And that doesn't only come from the data.
The intent is that as a table or as an individual or throughout the day, if there are any things that are really cogent that you think we need to hear, that's an opportunity to put those thoughts down. So in your conversation, if you hear somebody say something wise, profound, valuable, something challenging, criticism, any thought that you think is worth putting into that space, please do so.
And I just would like to let you know that you are all very welcome here today. Your voices are all equally important. You have your lived experiences that are your own. Thank you for your open hearts, your open minds, as we approach this day of conversation. Thank you very much and welcome.
Go to university, and that's the only thing that people talked about. It's like, no, there's other things. There's trade school, there is colleges, there's like different like certificates and stuff like that, but like there's been a shift of like what is acceptable for like post-secondary education.
Yeah. The numbers continue to climb.
Well, our population is growing, right? And I know our schools aren't being built, and funding isn't out there, right? So, yeah.
Did you guys notice the impact of that, the positives and the negatives, or?
It's definitely a lot more crowded, I would say. But I would say a positive is obviously there's more people to connect, but the negative is it's very crowded. It can be overwhelming in the halls, going from class to class. There's often like at least a 3-minute backup in the stairwells trying to get to classes, so it can get pretty overwhelming.
We talked about the changes in society, the ramifications of COVID, the changes in parenting styles, student access to technology, which is so pervasive, and even changing kids coming in not being able to have fine motor skills that used to just be a natural. It's all adding complexity and mental health needs in our classrooms, in our schools, and the reality is that many of our teachers do not feel equipped to meet all of those needs.
So we talked about connection being the root of everything. We talked about providing specific and ongoing feedback for both kids and parents as well to continue to move their learning forward. We had some interesting conversations about getting feedback from kids about what do you think about your learning experiences, and then adapting and making changes based on that. So interesting that this morning we talked about how we want to make sure that we're meeting with the kids where they're at and meeting what they need, as opposed to making them fit with what we say works.
By regaining our sense of empathy and care, I think we can reignite our passion for connection and collaboration and provoking thoughts in our kids. So really just putting our shoes or our feet in the shoes of our students and their parents and trying to create more meaningful relationships as a team and a community to bring a better and more impactful learning experience, not just for students but for teachers as well, because teaching is a relationship. You can't have teachers without students, and you can't have students without teachers.
We talk about diversity and how we want to promote diversity within our classrooms and within our schools, but we're not actually doing anything about it. How we only have 1 month out of the year of Black History Month, or how we realistically don't speak a lot about women's issues, even though we are such a great population. how we need to continue to represent certain communities and certain people all throughout the year and normalize it. How we need to have this sort of representation within our classrooms in order to learn about the great world we have and how to look outside of the frame that we have been given. Thank you.
Parkland School Division, where the world opens back up.